Back on TYT Sports, Francis and Rick. More clips around Neymar, because there's nothing I like more than to be very critical of the Brazilian superstar. But Rick, I've been critical of him and I haven't got your opinion yet on it. Do you think I'm being overly critical of Neymar in totality, or do you think that I'm justified?
I think you're the sort of person that doesn't necessarily tiptoe the line. I think you're on one side or the other.
Yeah.
So when you when you have disdain for somebody, you go all in. Mm-hmm. You're like Chris Moneymaker. Does that name?
I mean, it sounds like a good nickname. Moneymaker's fine by me.
Poker player, the first one ever on ESPN to win $1 million. So you are like the kind of guy that goes all in on your criticisms. I think time will tell, but thus far you're pretty much validated.
Yeah, and it seems like today might have further validated it. So The Guardian ran another piece today that says that Cavani's been offered to both Real Madrid, to Barcelona maybe, I'm not sure, but definitely to Napoli. Now we'll take that with a pinch of salt. I value The Guardian's opinion, and I think that they would have justified their sources. But according to reports, Cavani is no longer needed at PSG and may be offered out to other clubs. Napoli probably could use him. Insignia, or Insignia, how I mispronounce that is, again, other side of the line.
I think it's
Don't
Toshiba,
care.
actually.
Don't care. Yeah, that's
Francis.
it. Old club, played there, had phenomenal years there. That's where he basically was put on the map as being one of the best players. One of the most sought after. One of the most sought after. So, and then this has been added further because Diego Forlan doesn't have any bias or anything, you know, because it's not like he's Uruguayan. But Diego Forlan came out and he actually placed blame on Dani Alves for the situation, where he said that it doesn't make any sense to him what Alves did. The quote: "He doesn't give the ball to Cavani and then gives it to Neymar as if where his ball."
His bitch.
His biatch. Yeah. Cavani deserves respect. He has been scoring goals for years, taking penalties. There has to be respect. Neymar would not have done that. With Lionel Messi, that is a very valid point. He didn't want Cavani to take the penalty. He was like a little boy annoying him, which Alves clapped back. Rick?
He did, via Twitter. I don't know what match you were watching.
He threw it at him.
Ice pack for burn. But for your information, I didn't take the ball away from any of my teammates. It was just the opposite. It was taken from me. And also, for your information, that's FYI for those scoring at home, the last penalty kick for PSG was mine. So shut your trap. Stop making drama in my name.
Oh!
So what he's doing is he's doing the Birdman. He's like, respect my name.
Yeah. Don't make drama in my name. And the thing about Dani Alves' point.
Well, wait, real quick. Was our video taken out of context that we saw? Where he's like, no, it was taken from me. Like, I didn't see anything like that.
No, I saw Dani Alves. I don't think that he was in there to take the ball for himself. I think he was in there to mediate and also to let Cavani know that Neymar is probably the more equipped player to take this free kick, which is fine. That was whatever. I mean, it was just that it went from that to the penalty kick when it started to get just so like petty for me. That's what it was. It was petty. And to both points, I think both of these guys make valid points, but Forlan's first point is the most valid. Neymar would not in his wildest dreams have done this if it was Lionel Messi.
Correct.
Or if it was Luis Suarez.
Correct.
He wouldn't have, because he had that level of respect. And to get that level of respect, Lionel Messi got that level of respect because he didn't do that to Ronaldinho or to Thierry Henry. And the same way Luis Suarez didn't do that to Lionel Messi when he came in. That's how it works. You don't come in and try to install yourself as the dominant figure. By installing yourself as a dominant figure, you allow for your ability and your togetherness and your teamsmanship to get you to that stage.
And your leadership.
And your leadership. And I don't believe that Neymar, in my opinion, has shown that yet. And that's why I said on the last clip, he just needs to grow up, in my opinion. He needs to come out as the leader that he is, because it's going to benefit everyone else.
Is he a leader? That's the better question.
For Brazil, he seems to be, but that's because he's got no one there trying to take away from that starting position, that #1 role. Like Gabriel Jesus coming up as a talented player, but he's always going to be second string to Neymar.
Correct.
I think he's just...
Well, you're leaving out a big name here. It's David Luiz.
Yeah. Big man. Big player. Big hair.
Sideshow bull
It's hard to compete with a man with that size hair.
So you bring up a lot of very valid points. The first thing is, and this would never happen with Barcelona, how I relate the Messi effect on Barcelona is the Greg Popovich model, the San Antonio Spurs. You're never going to see another player's star come in and be like, hey, Greg, no, this is my team. Yeah. It's just simply not how it works. So what you have here is, once again, the greatest team that it appears money cannot buy, because, again, if they treat themselves and their own teammates like this, they're not going to go anywhere in the Champions League, my own humble opinion. Secondly, how they should have figured this out is not when the cameras are rolling, as I've said many times, the reality TV aspect of live sports. Against Lyon is, of course, when this happened, where Lyon had 2 own goals in order to lose. So Cavani takes the penalty. They should have worked this out, Francis, and you've been there, behind closed doors, when the cameras aren't rolling, and saying, Cavani's going to take penalties. Because what Neymar did is he already was stirring the drama by going up there and just like, what the hell, man?
Yeah.
Why aren't I taking this? Well, dude, you just arrived yesterday.
Yeah,
that's simply why you're not taking the penalty.
And unfollowing him on social media afterwards just plays into the media shitstorm that's going to come after it. And that's where I say, and that's why this clip is titled this, whatever way you look at it, Neymar has to grow up. If he wants to be that #1 player in the world, if you look at those that had that title before him, none of them, like Ronaldo had little bickering situations with Manchester United.
Of course he did.
But you give them that time to grow as a player.
And how old was he?
Yeah, he was
like
22.
18, 20?
He was in his middle. I mean, when he got into the latter stages
when did he
of his
come over
career.
from Sporting?
He came over from Sporting when he was a teenager, young player, and then he started to break into Manchester United's team through the process that we are talking about here. Like Gary Neville used to play against him one-on-one. He was Ronaldo was loudmouthed. He was cocky. He was put in his place, and look how he's turned out, right? Because he accepted how humble he had to be alongside these talented players, and he formed that relationship with Alex Ferguson. Big point. The coach, right? I said this about Unai Emery. He needs to be taking up a more of a leadership role, but he can only do that if a player has...
But Unai Emery isn't necessarily respected. I mean, it's apples to oranges, like Sir Alex Ferguson, like Pep Guardiola, like a few others.
You gotta at least have that sense of authority in a way.
Didn't this happen with PSG previously with their stars, with Fabio Capello being there?
Yeah, it's happened before. I mean, that's
so they can't even find the right manager.
It's when you try to fit in all these big pieces, like you're bringing in all the kings and queens without actually having all the, like, giving respect to the pawns who have been there putting in the graft. That's
more so the Jackson 10s to the kings and
very
queens.
Very much so. So, but the only way that you can do that is if a player is willing to fight for the overall purpose of the team rather than himself. And if Neymar wants to go there to win trophies, I think he could use Cavani. I'm not Cavani's biggest fan. I know he goes away in big games at times, but I haven't seen enough from that team to imagine that Neymar's going to lead the line as a front striker. I think Neymar is better playing off of people. That's why I think he would be better with Edinson Cavani. Unless they went out and bought like a Diego Costa, who's went to Atletico Madrid. That would be a different story, but I imagine that for an ego battle between Diego Costa.
So if Cavani leaves,
you
wake up on a random Thursday, and it says that he went to XYZ team. Doesn't matter where. He's just getting out of league. Your reaction is what when you wake up that morning?
Stupid. Just absolutely.
And it was forced by who?
Stupid. I mean, Neymar. That's it.
Exactly.
There's no way he leaves for any other reason than Neymar. And if you're a PSG fan and you think that they can go forth and win all of the trophies that they want to win solely with that roster without having Edinson Cavani, he's not the superstar player. I'm just thinking, if I'm Neymar, then I want Cavani there, because without Cavani, I'm therefore asked to play more of a central role. And I'm therefore asked to play in a role that technically I don't think benefits him in that system as much as it would be playing off of someone who's going to hold up play, who's going to be your decoy to that position, who's going to be your Benzema to the Ronaldo, you know? So, I don't know, man. I think he needs to grow up. I think he needs to wake up.
One Premier League team where you think he would be suitable.
Cavani?
Yeah, and I know you said that he's not a Premier League player, but let's just go down the hypothetical rabbit hole here. Everton? Not Liverpool. They have Bobby Firmino.
I don't know, man.
I just had one and it slipped my mind.
I like Liverpool. I like Arsenal.
I personally don't. Arsenal was the other one.
I like Arsenal and Liverpool. I mean, for that system, that style of play, like Arsenal
have not the best, but some of the best attacking midfielders, and they have no number 9.
Yeah, and Lacazette seems to be doing okay.
It's going to take a while.
Yeah, it will take a little bit to get in, and I don't think they need him technically for that. But I mean, for instance, if like the perfect system that I think he'd fit into would be if Harry Kane left Tottenham and then he would go into that system with a Christian Eriksen to just feed him with wide players that are going to drive and get to the touchline and allow him to thrive in the box. But I just don't think Cavani would be that good in the Premier League. I think he should go back to Serie A if he wants to leave.
Alrighty, so let us know your thoughts. Send them in the comment section below. Subscribe to TYT Sports. Beep, beep, beep.